Well, howdy, guys. I hope you guys are ready for another chapter in our Magic Treehouse. A perfect time for pandas. So, boys and girls, today we're reading chapter 10. We're getting close to the end of our story and our adventure with Jack and Annie. So, chapter 10 is titled Panda Bread. All right. Here we go. The helicopter flew over the broken bridge, over the blocked highway, and over the crumbling mountains of the Wulong Reserve. Soon it roared over Wulong Town. The pilot landed in a large field lit by emergency spotlights. Two other helicopters were also in the field. Tents had been set up, and people were carrying injured people on stretchers to the helicopters. When the blades of the helicopter completely stopped turning, Jack and Annie carried the sleeping cubs out of the cabin and down the steps to the field. "Jack and Annie," someone called. 4 women dressed in dark overalls rushed to greet them. "We work for the Panda Center. Thank you for bringing the cubs to us," one said. Annie kissed each of the panda cubs. "Be good now," she said. Then she and Jack handed them over to the woman. "We really love them," said Annie. "I am so glad," said one of the women. "We will get them to a safe new home very soon. Later, the others will join them." "We must help you, too," said the other woman. "Go with Miss Chang to our office, and she will locate your grandmother." "Oh, it's okay," said Jack. "We know exactly where she is." He started to back up. Annie did the same. "That's right," she said. She pointed to the street. "We're going to go meet her in the restaurant in town." "Goodbye," said Jack. "Goodbye," said Annie. Before any of the women could speak, Jack grabbed Annie's hand and started to run. They ran across the busy field, weaving around the tents and helicopters, doctors, nurses, and military people. When they came to the street, they stopped to catch their breath. "Ready to go home?" asked Jack. "No, wait," said Annie. "We still have to find the special food." "No, actually we don't," said Jack. "What?" said Annie. "I said we don't have to look for the special food anymore," said Jack. But why? "What do you mean?" said Annie. "We don't have to look for it," Jack said. Annie stared at him. "Are you saying we have it?" she asked. Jack nodded, then pulled out the hunk of panda bread out of his backpack. "It's called panda bread. When I went to say goodbye to Bing Bing, Master Lee was feeding it to her." "But what makes you think—" began Annie. Jack held up his hand, interrupting her. "Panda bread is a healthy food," he said. "It's grainy and good, baked with love, tough as wood. Shape is round in shape and the color of sand. And it's given to those who have lost their land." "The panda's at the center." "Perfect," breathed Annie. Jack held up the panda bread and looked at it. "This is why I think pandas will survive," he said. "Why?" asked Annie. "Because of panda bread?" "Nope," said Jack. He put the bread into his pack. "I think they will survive because people take responsibility for them. People make healthy bread for them and carry them to safety and raise money for them. And people speak up for them because they can't speak for themselves." "That's it," said Annie. "That's what Panda Bread stands for? It stands for people protecting and saving animals?" "Exactly," said Jack. "And now we have to go save Penny." "Great," said Annie. "I think the treehouse is nearby." She looked around. "Yes, there it is in the line of trees. Do you see it?" "I sure do," said Jack. "Let's go." When they came to the grove of trees, Jack switched on their small flashlight. The beam of light guided them to the rope ladder hanging in the dark. "Wait!" Our volunteer clothes," said Annie. They took off their coveralls and left them at the bottom of the tree. Then they climbed up the rope ladder into the treehouse. Is everything still there? Asked Annie. Jack shined the flashlight into the corner of the treehouse. The light fell on the emerald rose, the white and yellow flower, and the gray goose feather. It's all here, he said. And the fourth thing? Said Annie. Jack pulled out the panda bread from his backpack and placed it on the floor next to the feather. Good, said Annie. Roaring sounds filled the night. Jack and Annie looked out the window and saw another helicopter coming in. Remember our helicopter ride in Antarctica? Said Annie. When you hid Penny in your jacket? I totally remember it, said Jack. We couldn't let anyone see her and she kept peeping, so I had to keep pretending to cough. He thought about the penguin's big eyes and her fuzzy little head. He thought about Teddy and Kathleen and wondered and beauty of Camelot. Suddenly, he couldn't wait to be there and keep bringing Penny back to life. Are you ready to go to Camelot? He asked Annie. Absolutely, she said. Jack reached into his backpack again and took out their note from Teddy and Kathleen. He pointed to the word Camelot. I wish we could go there, he said. A blast of light, a roar of wind, a rumble of thunder, and all was quiet. And that's the end of chapter 10. Chapter 11 is coming up next. But I want you guys to think about something. We've read 11 chapters in our book. I want you to pick one character. It can be any of the characters that we read about. It could be Jack. It could be Annie. It could be Bing Bing. It could be Master Lee or Dr. Ling. I want you to think about any of the characters that we've met. I want you to pick your very favorite character, and I want you to write one or maybe even two sentences why they are your favorite character. You could say maybe, Mr. Riley's thinking of one. Maybe you could say, Bing Bing is my favorite character because she likes panda bread. Or maybe Bing Bing is my favorite character because she is kind. So think of a reason why your character is your favorite. Illustrate your character. Draw your very favorite picture. Color it in. Have fun with it, guys. But, okay, take your time, do your very best, and have fun. I'll see you guys on Monday. Love ya. Adios.